Hello everybody and welcome to Jeff the Pharmacist. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. It is a great honor to have you. If you like this video, please subscribe. That would be great. So today I wanted to offer you guys an update on Valsartan recall. So I had a previous video about the Valsartan recall and some things have occurred since then. So I want to make sure you guys are aware of that. So as you know, the Valsartan recall was due to an impurity found in the active pharmaceutical ingredient that is manufactured in a company called Huahai Pharma out of China. That was obviously very controversial. Now it's become very difficult to find Valsartan. Almost all of the doctors are moving their patients over to another similar type of medication. So the medication is called an angiotensin receptor blocker, and there's a lot of different medications that are very similar to Valsartan, so that's good. There's a lot of options. Now obviously being forced to move off of a medication is very stressful for patients, and then after finding out that the reason that the medication was recalled is because of an impurity called NMDA, and that impurity is also a carcinogen, I think that's been very disheartening to patients, and I've seen a lot of frustration. A lot of people are very angry about it and just kind of helpless. You take your medication and you do what the doctor tells you, and now you're finding out that there's this thing that you were taking that you didn't even know about. So initially the recall was because of Huahai Pharmaceuticals. They made about half of the Valsartan that went into the US drug supply. Now there's another manufacturer that has been implicated called Hetero Labs out of India, and they make the active pharmaceutical ingredient for other generic companies. One that I know is Camber. Now I think one of the problems is it's not super transparent, especially for patients, where their medication is coming from. So if you look at, I can tell as a pharmacist, and the only way that I can really tell is, there's two ways. So the first way is to look at the package insert, and that's basically part of the label that's required by the FDA. They call it the label, but really it's a piece of paper that they stick to the stock bottle. And in that they have all of the, the clinical trial information, all kinds of information about how the drug works and side effects, etc. And at the bottom of the package insert, it'll tell you who's distributing the drug. So usually it'll be the generic manufacturer like Camber or Avcare or Solco, one of these companies. And then it'll say below it where the active pharmaceutical ingredient is coming from, and that's where you can find out where it is. It's very often it's from like India or China. So Hetero Labs is out of India, and their manufacturing process is also creating this byproduct called NMDA, which is a probable carcinogen by the EPA. Now, I know people are very frustrated and feel like, I've been taking this medication, what should I do? And really there's been no guidance on really what you can do. I mean, I think basically you just get the medication switched and, basically hope for the best. I don't think there's anything else that you can do. I don't know. It would be nice if the FDA would look at how much people are exposed and how much people are exposed, say, in just normal life or in the water supply or whatever. I mean, there are traces of these carcinogenic chemicals that people come in contact with just in their daily lives. So is it comparable to that, or is it more? I have not been able to find out that information. So some of the common angiotensin receptor blockers are irbesartan, candesartan, losartan, olmesartan, and telmisartan. And they're very similar in how they act to Valsartan. They're very similar kinds of medications, and that's kind of where I'm seeing people go, they usually switch to Valsartan or olmesartan. Those are kind of the ones that I'm seeing that are more common. So far the list of manufacturers that have been recalled are Princeton, Sulco, Major, Teva, Avcare, Camber, and Torrent. So if you want to know, like if you wanted to know, for instance, where your medication was coming from, you'd have to ask the pharmacist to look at the package insert, and then it would show at the bottom where it's manufactured. So there's usually where it's distributed, and often that's like out of the United States. So it'll be like New Jersey, and then below that it would say kind of who manufactures it. I don't know if I know if it's a brand medication, often it's the same company that does everything. But if it's a generic, usually they'll make like an agreement with one company to make the active ingredient, and that's more efficient. But if one company is making half the drug or for the whole world, then we can run into these kind of situations where now nobody can get Valsartan, and Valsartan has a lot of other drugs that people can take. But if you think about it, what if it was something more important or more what if it was something that there's only one of? That would be a much bigger problem. So maybe it is a problem if one company is making half the generic drug supply in the whole world. So I hope you guys found this interesting. I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank you guys for your comments on my previous Valsartan video. It was very interesting to kind of see how people are reacting, how they're feeling about this, and it's really illuminating for me as a pharmacist, because I'm just kind of in this role. I'm not really a patient. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. It would be awesome to have you as a subscriber. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks a lot.